Airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
We need to get community. We need this thing to be bigger than just our little circle of players and coaches.
Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Oregon.
With 2 seconds on the clock. He hits it!
That's the bigger picture in this thing, allowing the community to celebrate the hard work, blue-collar mentality this group brings to the table.
And the Ducks have won it. The Ducks have won.
We get to struggle together, and we get to have joy together.
The Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
I am so proud right now to be the head coach at Oregon.
Catch made. Touchdown, Oregon.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Good morning, Ducks and Dogs coming your way. Jerry Allen's here in the Country Financial Studio. Georgie is already in the Great Purple North, and this is a true story. He walked into a restaurant last night, part of his business trip. Georgie actually has a day job and is working in Seattle getting ready for this game. And who does he find but Dave Softy Mahler in the restaurant? Who knew that Softy had such class?
I didn't. Not Actually, it's really funny because years ago, Softy and I used to hate each other. All right? I mean, he's a Husky, I'm a Duck.
That's right.
And we had no respect for each other.
That's right.
As we've grown through the years, we've come to respect each other, and we're actually very good friends right now.
Do you think, though, that it's a frenemy situation?
Yeah, in fact, he might have used that word yesterday, something like that. Yeah.
How'd it go? So Jerry was on with Softy yesterday. How'd it go?
It was
annual tradition.
It was great. We're in years past, we've always been blowing smoke up each other's rear ends trying to say, oh, you guys got this, we don't have this, back and forth. Now we're just both agreeing. We have two great teams here. This can be a fun match.
How about that? Top 10 matchup, first time in the history.
Crazy.
And, it would not be hyperbole to say that this is the biggest regular season Pac-12 game in the Pac-12 era. It's a rivalry game. First time in the series history again. Talk about AP Top 10 rankings. And how about this? Per Fox Sports' Chris Fallica, it's the first time since 2004 that two Pac-12 teams have faced off with each other when they are both 5-0 or better.
That's just staggering.
Yeah, it's been 2 decades, right? So that's what this game means. That's why it's getting the national attention.
Doesn't speak very, very well of the Pac-12 and what good the top level of the team's been.
Well, I don't know. I was actually just having this conversation with Bill Riley, our counterpart from Utah, and I said, you know what? Like, the Pac-12 has always kind of cannibalized itself.
No, that's true.
Think about when Oregon went to the national title game in the college football playoff era. Arizona beat Oregon at home that year. Then the Ducks got revenge in the Pac-12 championship game. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think about that a lot, that even that Oregon team, that era of where it was either Oregon or Stanford was winning the Pac-12, Arizona still spoiled some fun.
And this season is still young enough that we're probably going to have the same thing happen this year. Teams are going to upset, it's not done yet. We're talking about Oregon, Washington, undefeated, what it means for the postseason, Pac-12 championship game, maybe getting to the college football playoff. There's still too much football to play. This is a big game for a lot of reasons, but it's not the last game of the season, so we can't get too far ahead.
Okay, yes, but when Oregon comes away successful on Saturday,
right,
I think the way that the country is played out so far, I think the Ducks would have a legitimate claim to be not a top 5 team, but maybe the best team in the country with the resume the Ducks have put together so far. And that to me, like this is a game that can springboard you the rest of the season. Still a lot of football left.
Well, yeah, you got Washington State. You better respect them. You know what they can do. You got USC.
That's right.
Never know. All of a sudden they put it together and find some defense. Still got to go to Utah. There's a lot of football left.
A lot of football left, but you want to be in this situation.
You definitely do.
Right. You want to have that bullseye right on your back. And it's interesting. So game day, of course. Jerry and I will be up early, getting set up at the stadium. So I hope we're able to tune in at least and feel the energy for some of game day. 29th appearance for Oregon on game day.
More than
29th.
Anyone.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. I think Oregon has the record.
More than anybody on the West Coast, and it's not
Certainly,
close.
Yeah.
Knight brought this up. Knight's directing the show. Knight's got the call for Duck Volleyball tonight, by the way. Duck Volleyball's in action at home. Oregon Soccer also at home. A pair of 7 o'clock starts for you. Knight's got the volleyball call. Knight brought this up, like how many Washington State fans are going to show up to game day waving Old Crimson.
Yeah.
I think it's a great point. I hadn't really thought about it, but Knight was saying, like, yeah, they're going to show up because they want to show that Washington State belongs in that Seattle market too. That kind of stuff, though, that only happens with big-time games like this in big-time environments.
Oh, yeah. And I guess there were a bunch of Washington State flag wavers at the Fox Big Show.
Yep.
A couple of, so that became an issue, too. They're trying to make their point that they belong, and they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. We're about 25 hours away. 12:45 is the official kickoff time on ABC. 10:30 pregame show for us across the Oregon Sports Network. Keys to the game, what do you got?
Well, how does Oregon handle Michael Penix and not allow him the time for his receivers to find routes and soft spots in a zone or get by a man coverage? And it's a pressure on Penix from Oregon's defense. That's the big question I have. How are they going to dial it up? Is it going to be 4-man pressure, which is really not a pressure defense, but you can trick it up and do it, or you come with 5 or 6, you could blitz. I mean, that to me is the key. I think Oregon's going to run the ball. I really think Oregon's going to run the ball. Can Washington run the ball? I don't know, but the pressure on Penix to me is a key in this ballgame.
I think that the biggest difference between Oregon last year and Oregon this year, the defense as a whole, but the pass rush, statistically speaking, has been so much better this season.
Markedly,
to me,
yeah.
That's the biggest jump that Oregon made this season and has made this season so far. With that in mind, now's the game you prove it, because now's the game it could really matter. I agree with you. And then I think Oregon secondary is deeper. I think Oregon secondary, we're going to find out how good Oregon secondary is in this matchup with Washington. We see the numbers. That's a high-powered offense with Michael Penix, but coverage matters in that situation too. I think.
No, it really does, because you're not going to get to Penix all the time, and he has such a quick release. So how does Washington game plan for Oregon, knowing that they're going to come with more pressure than they've seen this year? They're probably going to do a lot of short, quick stuff over the middle, whatever Oregon shows. Penix is just like Bo Nix. He's going to see it. His receivers are going to see it and adjust. This is going to be a really cat and mouse game.
I agree with that. And looking at some of the numbers, right, like. The passing efficiency has been really ridiculously good.
Crazy lights out.
Yeah, these are two teams that have put together just back-to-back performances of efficiency, high-powered offense. Okay. Defense matters to slow that down. Okay. Watch, this game's going to come down to special teams. I'm telling you. You know what I always say?
I like Oregon special teams.
I do too.
What do you say?
I love a good punter.
It changes. You have said that many times.
It changes the game. Field position matters. What if it starts raining and instead of having to go 40 yards, you've got to go 80 yards to score? Special teams.
Flip the field, baby.
Camden Lewis has been awful consistent, had the one miss. I'm just saying, game like this, special teams.
And we're talking about how great Michael Penix is. And believe me, I believe he is. He is the real deal as a quarterback, and he's going to do unbelievably well at the next level. But if you're going to compare quarterbacks, Bo Nix is the full package, okay? Bo Nix can throw the ball equally as well as Michael Penix.
Yeah.
He is very intelligent when it comes to decision-making, particularly this year. And Bo has the added, in addition to his game that Penix doesn't have. Penix can run, but he's not a running quarterback. Bo is. I think that makes him more complete. Washington's going to have to deal with that.
The Ducks are the best in the Pac-12 and tied for the best in the country in turnovers. One of 2 FBS teams that has yet to commit multiple turnovers.
But they haven't taken a lot away either.
No, they haven't.
It's really amazing when you look at that stat.
They haven't. I mean, takeaways are, 9th in the conference. But I just think taking care of the football, in a game like this, is so important.
Right.
Third down efficiency, I think. That's always a big one. The Ducks are the second best in the Pac-12 in terms of third down efficiency. I think there's so many numbers that back up that Oregon's been ridiculously efficient. These are two of the best, top 3 teams in terms of third down efficiency in the entire conference. The top scoring offenses, the top yardage offenses. It's going to be fun. Dan
Lanning's team is playing smart football.
True.
They're not over committing. They're not gambling. They're playing the edge well. The back end is not gambling and trying to go for interceptions. Sometimes you say, why don't they have more picks? Because they're playing safe football. Keep the man with you. Keep him in front of you. Don't let him get away. One thing I don't want Oregon to do, and I saw this against, was it Stanford or Washington played last, and that is the middle opened up and Penix was able to scramble up the middle. Got to watch for that. But otherwise,
that's a good point. I mean, I think that you forget because of his arm how athletic he is.
He is very athletic
sometimes.
Yeah.
I think this is a quarterback conference.
Oh, I love this game coming up.
Bo Nix, Michael Penix, 2 of the great ones. If you throw USC in there with Caleb Williams, those are 3 of, not just in the conference, 3 of the top teams in the entire country in terms of offense.
Yeah, 3 of the top quarterbacks.
Fun.
I mean, 3 quarterbacks that are all being talked about, invited to New York, depending on what happens.
Yeah. Now, here's something that Washington is certainly aware of, and Duck fans, we know how aware of this you are. In Oregon's last 8 trips to Husky Stadium, the Ducks are 7-1. They have 4 wins by 17 or more points, averaging 458, almost 459 total yards per game. And the turnover margin in these games, the Ducks are +6. Now, Washington's a different team now, different coaching staff. But there's some confidence, I think, in Oregon going into that stadium because the Ducks have been so successful in Seattle.
I'll go back to when it started. The game I remember more than any other is Patrick Johnson opening kickoff, running up the right hash into a big scrum of pile, and it's like, okay, it's going to be a good 35-yard return. No whistles. All of a sudden, he comes out the right side and goes for 6. And then later in the game, Akili Smith drops a dime in, and Patrick dives, and we got to wait for the officials to give the call. And Oregon with a great win. That's the one for me that started this success in Seattle for the Ducks. What a memory.
Ducks and Dogs.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
He's Jerry Allen. Mike Jorgensen's already behind enemy lines. He's in the Great Purple North.
Enemy lines, I love that.
We'll talk with Jorgie on the 10:30 pregame show tomorrow. He sent in, did he? Oh, he actually did send his picks in.
Okay. Oh, we're trying to trick him.
I don't know what Scott's talking about. We're going to get a break. Pac-12 picks coming up. Our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks.
Doing
the show a little early.
Think he's watching right now?
No, he actually has a job. Jorgie's a paid hobbyist. Anyway, we're going to make some Pac-12 picks, more Ducks and Dogs talk, also some more student-athlete interviews that we didn't get to this week. That's Duck Insider today. He's Jerry Allen. I'm Joey Mack. More on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack with you in the Country Financial Studio. Jerry Allen's here as well. Jorgie's already in the Great Purple North. He had dinner with Softy. I don't. Have you heard from Jorgie since that dinner?
No. I worry about food poisoning too. I thought about that.
Like, I ain't filling in for Jorgie.
No.
That's no, not doing that. Sylvan Ridge Winery is proud to be Eugene, Oregon's first bonded winery, representing the very best of the South Willamette Valley. We've got some picks to make. We'll return to more Ducks and Dogs talk. First, though, hey, I want to take a little bit of time away from football. The grand opening of the Jake was yesterday.
That is such an incredible facility.
If you didn't see the images on social media, go check it out. Those of you that are watching the show, we've got some for you. And I love the fact that Peter and Jan Jacobson, Jerry, they took the first shots off the tee at the new driving. Oh, it was so awesome. Emerald Valley, thanks again to Emerald Valley for allowing the facility to be constructed. All the donors that made it possible. Oregon Golf now has a home with the latest technology, the Jake. It's awesome stuff. We'll have more on the subject moving forward, but I'll tell you, it's really cool to see another facility come to fruition. It's
long
special.
overdue. Funny Peter Jacobson story. First time I ever got to play golf with him. This is years ago, a long time ago. We're at a football game down in L.A., and I think we're going to play UCLA. But we're staying at a hotel that's got the little golf course in back. Okay. And Peter, Don Essig, and Peter's father were out there, and they say, hey, let's all play golf, this little par 3. So I'm like, I can't play golf with Peter Jacobson. I can't hit the ball. I can't even get it to stay on the tee. I'm like all nerves. What if the ball goes here? What if it goes there? So Peter says, I'll tee off first, drops it, hits it probably about 10 feet off the green, and says, you know what? I think we're going to have this kind of a day. Mulligan pulls another ball out, drops it, hits it. Okay, there you go, guys. That's what we can do. We had the most fun all day long. He was so easy to be around.
Yeah.
What a wonderful man. And, Peter, thank you for what you've done for Oregon sports.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It
was a great day.
That's special stuff.
Yeah.
Let's make some picks. So, Jerry went with UCLA last week.
Yeah. Excuse me while I relax back here. Just enjoy. Is that a spotlight there right there on me? Wow. It's warm in here? Yes. I wish Jorgie was here.
Jorgie and I both went with Washington State. Jerry took a risk. It paid off for him, and now he's in first place.
Okay.
He's made up a one-game deficit and made it a one-game lead over the course of 5 weeks. Took a while. But, Jerry, I want to point this out. I did a little digging. This is, I know, what Jorgie loves. I don't know how much you care about the stats that I go back into the record book.
Depends on whether they benefit me or not.
So, Jerry has been perfect in 4 straight weeks in picks. That has only happened one previous time in the history of picks as long as I've been a part of it.
Woo.
And I really need you to get one wrong this week because the last time somebody had 4 straight perfect weeks, it was me.
Okay. So I'm going to be real safe this week.
That's what I thought you'd do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good run, though. Well done.
Well, thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So Jerry's picking first. That's where we're at in our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. So far, Jerry has picked 41 of a possible Jerry has picked 41 of a possible 45 games correct.
That's crazy.
Jerry has only missed 4 games. And here's the best part. 3 of them were in the first week. You stunk it up in the first week, and you've missed 1 since then.
I was just trying to give you guys a chance to build a little something before I came up,
Right. Sure.
Yeah, you believe that.
Okay.
I don't even believe
But
that.
still, 41 out of 45.
No, I've never had a year like that.
No.
And it's still only half over.
I know. Well, I've got 40 correct picks, and then Georgie is in a distant third
you guys
with
are
39.
You're right there. I mean, as great as I think I'm doing, you're one game behind me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Jeez.
Anyway, tonight we've got a game to tune in for. 7 o'clock on ESPN. Stanford 1-4, 0-3 in conference action. Colorado 4-2, 1-2 in Pac-12 play. Those of you that are watching the show live, I know we're doing it a little bit early. Those of you that are watching the show live, Knight's putting the polls in the YouTube comment section. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, Facebook doesn't have a built-in poll thing like YouTube does, so sorry. But YouTube does, so we get to see what everyone else thinks of these games. Colorado, Stanford, Folsom Field. Who are you picking tonight?
I think it's a pretty easy pick. I mean, it's at Colorado. Colorado is really playing some pretty good football, especially when they are at home. Stanford may not have the dual quarterbacks going, and if they don't have a passing quarterback, they've got a running quarterback. But look, Stanford is not as good as Colorado. Can't believe I'm saying that this year. How crazy is that? Colorado wins this one. I think they're up. Somebody's got them on like a 10 or 12-point advantage.
I think that Stanford will do to Colorado what the Cardinal tried to do to Oregon. Slow it down. Run a few things on offense that maybe you haven't seen before. I think it's close at halftime. Then I think Colorado pulls away. I've got Colorado also. Are you flipping the coin? Or do you want me to flip the coin today?
It's up to you. You make the decision.
No, you make the decision.
Okay, I'll flip
you're,
the coin.
You're in charge of the
I got
coin
bright lights
flipper.
in front of me. These lights are terrible.
First, though, okay. Coin's already up. It's fine.
No, I'm not going to show it.
Oh, okay. Georgie's pick. Georgie was able to send his picks in. Only Scott has seen these picks. I have not seen them. Jerry hasn't seen. I guess Knight has now seen them. But we need evidence that it's what Georgie actually sent in. So Georgie's pick. He's going Colorado. All right, Colorado. Okay.
Safe pick.
Coin.
Oh, you went Colorado too.
Coin
went tails.
Tails. Stanford.
Whoa, is that right? Yeah, that's the hit. Ooh,
well, so
my gosh.
I should have said the coin. The coin has picked 22 games correct of 45 so far.
Or
pretty much right at 50%.
Put another way, that the coin is sucking pond water.
Okay. That's a new one for me.
You've never heard that?
No.
Yeah. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Sucking pond water. Urban Dictionary.
It's safe. It's safe.
Urban Dictionary.
Research.
Wow. To be dying or on the brink of death. So the coin's out of it, we think.
All right,
huh? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What we just did there was reconnoiter to find out what I was talking about. Remember when I popped that on Georgie?
That's so funny. I just brought that up to somebody this week, that if you hear us use like an SAT word on the broadcast, like reconnoiter was my example, because this is what we do to each other. Like, how do we find a way to – this is like when you're in college and you use the website that forces you to use a word in each paragraph in your essay.
Yeah.
I wrote every essay that way.
It's fun.
It's very
fun.
Anyway.
Okay, where were we?
That's tonight's game.
Okay.
12 o'clock on the Pac-12 Network. Cal 3-3, 1-2 in Pac-12 play, visiting Rice-Eccles Stadium. Utah, number 16 in the country, 4-1, 1-1 in conference play. Who's playing quarterback for Utah? I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it matters. I mean, if Cam Rising was playing, I mean, he's going to be very rusty, but he's still Cam Rising, and I think he would give Utah's offense a tremendous lift. But I don't think he's going to play. Based on some of the things we heard this week, his knee injury was really massive. And so what I heard was a minimum 10 full months, if not 12 months, to repair from a surgery like that. So I just don't think that Cam's going to play. Based on that, I think it's going to be a pretty good ball game. But it's at Rice-Eccles. Cal, you know, I kind of like Cal. But if they were at home, I'd pick them. But I'm going to go with Utah.
Okay. I think that's a good pick. That's the right pick. I'm also picking Utah. I think that Cal's got to figure some things out. And I think I keep saying that. Cal's sitting at 3-3. Cal's going to be 6-6 this year.
Yeah.
It's just going to be one of those years for Cal where maybe they figure something out and get somebody. It's not going to be this one. I think Utah wins the game.
Oh, Georgie?
Georgie? Utah.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be one of those weeks where we all pick the same teams.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really?
USC Notre Dame could be interesting. Coin?
Coin. Tails again.
Tails. That's a good pick.
Okay.
It's a good pick. Yeah, I like that pick for the coin. I think that's nice for the coin.
All right.
The next game on the Pac-12 docket would be the 12:30 ABC game, Oregon and Washington. We're calling it. You know who we'd pick. 4 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Arizona 3-3, 1-2 in conference play. Visits number 19 Washington State, 4-1, 1-1 in Pac-12 play. I'm surprised the betting line is as close as it is, if I'm being honest with you. Currently, odds makers have it as just over a touchdown favorite for Washington State.
I would not bet against Washington State at home unless they were playing maybe one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the conference. But they're not. They got Arizona. Arizona, dialed up an interesting defense last week, but I don't think they dial up anything against Washington State. I think the Cougs at home are really tough to beat, so I'm going Washington State.
Yeah, I think Washington State, this is a game that the Cougs need to win in order to stay in the running for where they want to be at the end of the year. I also think that Washington State's defense, Arizona's interesting, right? I mean, coming off what happened last week, who knows what Arizona is going to bring to the table. I think that they have found something at quarterback with Delora hurt. I think they've got some confidence. But do they have confidence in a moral victory playing USC the way they did, or is that a gut punch loss in triple overtime? I think mentality for Jed Fish's team is a really big deal this week. But X's and O's wise, I think Washington State's defense is better still.
Big point.
I think Washington State's defense is better. I think Wazoo contains them. I thought Wazoo would win this game by a couple touchdowns, not just by one like the odds makers say. I think Wazoo's better. Georgie. Washington State.
Yeah, not a shock.
Coin?
Coin. Whoa, where'd it go? Tails. Wow, that's 3 tails in a row, right?
That is 3 tails in a row. The road team. That's a tough pick for the coin.
Okay.
We're going to get a timeout. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. We've got 2 more games to pick. So far, we're real boring. Representing the very best of the South Willamette Valley. He's Jerry Allen. I'm Joey Mack, Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We're back with Georgie and Spirit in the Country Financial Studio on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack, Jerry Allen in the Country Financial Studio. Georgie is already in the Great Purple North. We'll be joining him tonight. Jerry and I were discussing the pregame meal before an early bedtime to get up for game day. Serious question. So I'm teaching a play-by-play class, actually, and one of the things that someone asked me was like tips on a game day, and I said, one, you got to stay hydrated ahead of time because you're pretty much chained to your headset and you can't really go to the bathroom very often during games. And then I said, two, don't eat anything that's going to give you heartburn. Do you have any other advice?
Oh, I thought you were going to say give you gas.
That doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, it does.
But, maybe it's six of one, half dozen of the other.
All right. And the big thing, first thing we always do is identify where the bathroom is. Where's the closest bathroom?
It's actually true.
No, we all help each other. There's one down there about 5 doors. Yeah, well, I found one around the corner. If you go downstairs, that's
Colorado has a secret bathroom actually that's clutch. Let me tell you. See, these are the things that matter.
They do.
But do you not eat certain things? Like, because I do that. Like before baseball games, like I will not eat certain things. And
No.
You just Jerry has a stomach of steel. He eats 4 Haagen-Dazs bars on the airplane.
No, it's more like aluminum now, but it still will handle a lot of stuff.
Aluminum, you can punch a hole through it.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, all right. Anyway, Sylvan Ridge Winery picks.
Okay.
Continuing. So far, everyone's picked the same. I think that, though, we've got a couple interesting games in the evening window, and selfishly excited that I think we'll be home in time to watch the second half of these games. 4:30 on NBC and Peacock. Number 10 USC at number 21 Notre Dame. Trojans are undefeated, barely. Notre Dame is 5-2. USC, though, has played 2 back-to-back weeks of, shall we say, gut punch games that they've come out on top in. Is this the game where USC drops one of those games, Jerry?
Yeah, I thought about deferring this one, but this is to me actually an easier pick than maybe a lot of people think. Although I'm hearing that everybody's picking Notre Dame because USC's defense can't stand up to the Irish. I think the Irish on both sides of the ball will just punch USC, and I think they'll handle probably Caleb Williams. So I think I want to say an easy Notre Dame win, but I think they handle USC and maybe the first of a tough rest of the season for the Trojans.
Well, I'm going to use my deferral here.
I don't think you had a deferral if you weren't in first place.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
accurate.
That was a good effort, though.
Good catch, though.
That was a good effort.
Nice catch. Yeah, I don't know who Georgie's going to pick. I also think Notre Dame's going to win. And what really sucks is watch this be the game that USC loses. USC beats Washington. USC beats Utah. Whatever. That's going to suck. Just for the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And I kind of have this sneaking suspicion that that's exactly what's going to happen. I think that USC being on the road at Notre Dame and then hosting Utah, and then if I remember correctly, USC hosts Washington.
Yeah.
So in those 3 games, I think this is the one that USC loses because it's on the road.
Great month of football.
Great month of football. And then when the Trojans come to Autzen Stadium, things get interesting. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think Notre Dame wins the game. I was curious what you thought about this, Jerry. Like, odds makers say it's going to be like 31-28 kind of a game.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's about right. I think that USC probably doesn't score in the 40-50 range like they have been.
Yeah.
I think that especially a game that stays to regulation, here's what I come back to. Arizona contained USC actually better than I thought the Wildcats would. USC was contained. If it doesn't go to triple overtime, they're not scoring 43 points. I think Notre Dame wins, and I think Notre Dame's able to contain them.
And what Arizona showed me was, and then maybe a little bit of a blueprint, and that is Caleb Williams, we're not going to let you beat us.
Yeah, I agree.
You're going to beat us. You're going to beat us with your running game, and we think we can stop that even with 3-man.
Wow,
three-man
fans have it at so far 92% Notre Dame.
Yeah,
no faith in the Trojans from the comments section.
Yeah, I know. And which is funny because USC is still a very dangerous football team.
Yeah.
But I still think that Notre Dame wins it.
This is honestly, like if this game was in L.A., I'd pick the Trojans.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Yeah,
Notre Dame has not proven to be very consistent.
That Ohio State game was that was good football. That was fun football at the end.
What you call it, corker.
Right.
Yeah.
Georgie?
What'd you do, Georgie?
Notre Dame.
Yeah. God, not surprising.
That sucks.
All right.
Coin.
The coin. Can I just say tails right away?
It's got to be heads, right?
It's hard to see in the lights. I keep losing it. Down goes the coin. Down goes the coin. Okay. Whoa.
Good catch.
Heads.
Heads.
It is heads.
Home team, Notre Dame. The last game that I agree is the toughest of the weekend. 5 o'clock on Fox. Number 18, UCLA, the Fightin' Chips, 4-1, 1-1 in conference action against number 15, Oregon State, 5-1, 2-1 in Pac-12 play. Reser Stadium, Corvallis, 65 degrees, showers at kickoff. Jerry?
I would like to hear what you say.
Yeah, thought you might.
I'm deferring this one. Yeah.
I thought Washington State was going to win at UCLA last week. I thought UCLA played better, but here's the thing. Oregon State is more efficient. Oregon State doesn't make mistakes. And really it's funny, in a lot of ways, UCLA still made mistakes and Washington State still won the game. That pick at the end, for example, end of the first half, yeah, brutal. Can't make mistakes like that. Well, UCLA was able to overcome them. That says something about, I think, Chip Kelly's team. Georgie and I think you said this too, Jerry, like going into the year, I thought UCLA was sneaky good. Like I thought UCLA could end up being a 9-win team and surprise some people because their defense is so much better. They've still tried to find it on offense. I just think Oregon State is going to take care of the ball better. I think Oregon State is going to be really efficient, and I just don't see a Jonathan Smith coach team dropping a close game like this will be. I think this is a field goal type of game, and I think I give the edge to Oregon State, particularly at home in that matchup. I like the way that Oregon State's defense has played. I really do. I think that that's going to cause problems for UCLA. I say all that. Chip Kelly's an offensive mastermind. He could find a way to get it going if the team finds a way to get it going. But I think right now, heading into this game, you got to think Oregon State's the favorite. I'm going to take the Beavs.
Okay. We'll see what comes up.
Georgie,
yeah.
Oregon State.
Well, never going to pick them again?
Well, Georgie and I are going to still be right where we were heading into this week. We've got identical picks. Coin?
Oh, the coin. How about I flip it and you catch it?
All right.
Yeah, are you ready? Here we go.
I don't know.
How was that?
That was a great flip. Tails.
Okay.
Going with UCLA. It's a chance for a 2-pick lead, Jerry.
Well, I'm looking at numbers. I mean, UCLA's given up 61 points on the year. Their defense is
good.
The real deal. They're not scoring at a clip to support that 61 points. They've only scored 153 on the year. Oregon State's 231 points on the year and have given up only 118. I think the key in this game is that DJU is finally coming to his own.
Son of a God.
They got a quarterback that is in rhythm, feels good. He's at home. Yeah, I'm going to Oregon State. Okay, I guess I'll get out of here while I've still got my senses about me. What this means is I will still have a 1-game lead next week. Yes. But they were all smart picks. They were all good picks.
Well, I agree with you.
Yeah. That's right, you did.
They all were.
You were hoping I would gamble, though, weren't you?
Yeah.
You thought,
Yeah, I wanted on one of those for you to say, you know what?
Got a feeling.
Give it to L.A., but neither time did you have faith in L.A.
No.
Colorado, Utah, Oregon State, Washington State, Notre Dame. Those are all of our picks brought to you by Sylvan Ridge Winery. Proud to be Eugene, Oregon's first bonded winery. Sylvan Ridge offers wine enthusiasts a diverse selection of wines representing the very best of the South Willamette Valley. Final keys to the game for tomorrow. Oregon, Washington, what do you think?
Play a clean game. If you're Oregon, play your brand of football, aggressive, smart. Don't turn the ball over. Don't commit pre-snap penalties. I mean, just play a clean game. And you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I agree. Score first. Take the crowd out of it.
Yeah, always.
Crowd's going to be amped up, man.
Oh, it's going to be a great atmosphere.
It should be.
No. Yeah. Purple is not one of my favorite colors. It just,
I've never been a fan.
No.
Nope.
There is no purple in our home.
I don't think there's any in mine either.
No, there's no purple.
No, there's none.
There have been times when we're shopping and we're doing something and we see a knick-knack or a shirt or a dress or something and it's like, hey, what do you think? Nope. Okay,
purple.
right.
I will say, I have to admit, I've got orange in the house because it's a fall color. That's it.
I got a pumpkin sitting on the counter now.
And the San Francisco Giants.
Were they in the playoffs?
It's unfortunate.
The Dodgers got swept.
What happened to the Dodgers?
They stunk it up. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. Not a great year for the San Francisco-LA baseball rivalry.
No, it was not.
No. He's Jerry Allen. I'm Joey Mack. When we come back, Troy Franklin, Jackson Powers Johnson, talking a little more football. Ducks and Dogs, 12:30 tomorrow. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song! I love these nachos. I love our kickball league! Ugh! I love this guy! What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack with you in the Country Financial Studio. Made some picks. They were boring this week, so let's hear from some student athletes. Troy Franklin, Duck wide receiver. Also Jackson Powers Johnson, Duck offensive lineman. Didn't get to them yet this week, so let's do that. Hearing first from Troy Franklin. One of, statistically, if not the best, he's one of the best receivers in the Pac-12. Troy Franklin with the media this week.
Looks like a nice coat.
Yes, ma'am. You know, it's starting to rain, get a little cold, so.
What was it like just being able to kind of practice in that today in preparation for Saturday?
It's pretty cool because you kind of never know what could happen. You know, playing in the rain now kind of just, you know, prepare us for it then, so, yeah.
You guys have now had 2 weeks to kind of prepare for this matchup. Just in these next few days, what are the things that you are most focused on heading into Saturday?
Just making sure we're not beating ourselves, you know, trying to eliminate all the penalties, making sure everybody's just doing their job correctly and just playing our football. So, yeah.
You know what it's like to play up in Husky Stadium. You experienced that in 2021. How do you kind of impart that wisdom on some of the young guys, some guys that don't know that experience?
Just letting them know what it can be like. You know, that's going to be loud. That siren is definitely a little annoying. The rain, weather might play a factor in it. So just kind of trying to get them ready before we get there and stuff, you know. So, yeah.
What do you see from their secondary? Because a lot of their top corners weren't guys who were on the team last year. So what do you see from those guys?
They're pretty cool.
When you have an opportunity like this, and obviously the enormity of the game, the matchup, 2 undefeated teams, how do you approach it personally, Troy? Like, yes, it's obviously huge for both teams, but the opportunity for you.
I think you just approach it the same as every other week, every other game. You know, just day in, day out, work, practice. You know, film, extra film, stuff like that. So. Nothing too much different, you know, but obviously we know it's a big game, so, yeah.
You guys use last year's game as motivation and the way it went down, or is that just out of sight, out of mind now it's behind you?
I would say as a team, we definitely still have that taste in our mouth, you know. But it's definitely, we know it's a new year, things like that. So, yeah, we'll definitely use it as a little motivation. But, you know, it's like it's a new year, new game. So, yeah.
Your last road game at Stanford, it kind of took the offense a little bit to kind of get going. Has there been an emphasis this week or maybe last week on just making sure you guys get that good start, get in rhythm from the start?
Oh, yeah, for sure, most definitely. That's how we know get into our offensive role and just how we get rolling. So having an efficient first drive is definitely a key for us.
I don't know if you saw in 2028 they're adding flag football to the Olympics. Who do you think from this team would be the best on that team?
Flag football Olympics. I think Von Reams would be pretty good at it. He's pretty fast, you know, short little guy. So, you know, I think it'll be hard for them to pull his flag. Yeah, he's pretty shifty, so yeah.
What's your reaction just to hearing that flag football is going to be in the Olympics? That's pretty unusual.
I think that's pretty cool. You know, gives some people like more opportunity to play ball. They can't play at like you know, the NFL level or whatever the case is. You know, so that's pretty cool.
Troy Franklin, Duck wide receiver, talking with the media this week. Now, one of the guys who's been charged with protecting Bo Nix, that's a huge deal. You win in the trenches, particularly on the road. Jackson Powers Johnson has really stepped into a leadership role. A lot of coaches have talked about him elevating his leadership game. With a lot of new offensive linemen, he's one that's been around once or twice for the Ducks over the last few years. He talked with the media this week. Jackson Powers Johnson talking Ducks and Dogs.
All right, how's it going? Okay, first of all, I have to publicly announce that I lost to Casey Rogers in a round of golf, and so the punishment was to publicly say that he's better at golf than me so far, but room for improvement.
What did you shoot?
I don't even know.
What did he shoot?
One shot better than me, so he got me one of those. I'll get him another day.
What do you see from their defense and run defense in particular?
They're an incredible defense. They've done a great job all year. You know, they have an incredible front seven, and how they're coached to, you know, strike and shed, and you know, the passion that they play with is going to be the best that we face this year so far. And we're really excited, and we're really up for the challenge, and just excited to go up north.
You mentioned passion, rivalry games. That can be kind of a big part of it. How much is that important in terms of managing emotions, but also making sure you have the juice?
I mean, you know, the juice is going to come with it. You know, if you don't have juice right now, then you need some help. But just managing it, we're focused on us. And, you know, it's going to be a high emotion game. You know, a lot's going to be going on. The biggest thing is we're playing football, and that's really it. And it just happens to be the team up north that we don't like as much, but it's gonna be exciting. And, you know, they have a great football team. We have a great football team. It's on a national stage with game day and all that. And I think we're just feeling blessed, you know, for the opportunity to go, you know, show out there and have everybody watch us. So,
one of the veterans on this team, you obviously know the history of this rivalry well. How do you kind of impart that wisdom and teach some of the younger guys on the team about what this means?
I mean, you know, if you when you commit to Oregon and when you get an offer from Oregon, you know, the opposition is, you know, we're going against, like, Washington's our opposition, you know, and so we instill some of that of, you know, it's a big week, but we're going to still prepare the same way, but it's just kind of known, you know, it's kind of known, and the history of this game is, you know, rich and it's deep, and it's exciting, and, you know, the young guys, you know, I think you just kind of know. I think it's just kind of a thing. So,
how do you personally deal with the outside noise in a week like this? Are you like a social media blackout guy where you're not going to get on Twitter, or do you lean more into it?
I'm going to be honest. Like, I got class, I got school. Like, I let my mom handle all the social media stuff. Honestly, she can do all that. But yeah, no, I just really focus on what we're doing here, what we're doing now, and, you know, we got practice. When we got practice, you know, when we got meetings, and, you know, and now we're in school, so that's a better distraction than social media. So,
how much does last year and just the end sequence there still play in your mind, stick with you if at all? And, like, if you talked to Alex at all, I'm sure it sticks in his mind.
Yeah.
Later.
So, yeah, no, it stings for sure, and it's stung all year, and we've been told that we're the little brother of the Pacific Northwest. And this is an opportunity for us to go back up there and, you know, give it everything we got, and another opportunity to compete. But no, for sure, Alex has texted me a little bit this week, and just told me that, you know, it's just a game. It's just a game, and just go out there and have fun, and just, you know, just be what we need to be, and all we need to be is ourselves. So.
Told by who, Jackson? You say you told your little brother. Who?
Who told us?
Is that something that guys from Washington said on the field last year? Or is that just
No, that's just kind of about what we said. That's just as a group. Like even since strength and conditioning, we're not technically the best in our state. We're not technically the best in Pacific Northwest. But the great thing about that is we get opportunities to go show what we can do. So,
how much does an environment like this challenge you, especially playing center with the crowd noise and all that?
I mean, it really excites me because it's going to be loud. I love loud crowds, and I love, that atmosphere, and it's going to be a challenge, but, it started in practice. And, how we prepared and how we've gotten ready for that crazy environment is really helping us and helping everybody. So it's exciting. Like, going into a quiet place is not as fun as going in there, everyone not liking you. I always say this to like my friends back home. They always ask me like, how does it feel like playing in front of all these, like being like in Autzen, everybody like Sheriff, like it's great, but I think it's also I think it's better to be booed by 60,000 than be cheered on by 30. So, yeah.
Obviously Lubbock is kind of a unique situation, but
Yeah.
how nice is it just to have that one under your guys' belt headed into this one?
I mean, it's great because it really prepared us for going on the road, and it gave us some adversity and how we responded to that adversity. So we're definitely building on that, and we're just it was a great test for us, and it was a great learning experience as well. So we're definitely taking that and using that this week.
What are some things that you took away from that game that you feel like you've maybe focused on these last 2 weeks that you really want to be better at, knowing that when you're in that road environment, it's going to be a little bit more hostile?
I mean, it's just, not beating ourselves, and like Coach probably said, penalties, limiting penalties, and, really just focusing on us and not letting the outside noise get to us because, Lubbock was a crazy crowd. They really brought it, and tortillas were flying and batteries were flying. But, just knowing that and experiencing that is helping us tremendously. So
What do you see from
Batteries were flying in Lubbock?
well, everything was kind of flying. I don't remember. I got hit by a tortilla, but it's fine.
Going back to the bye week, just how crucial was that to just kind of have a week off for your body, just being in the position that you're in, being able to maybe play golf instead of hit some guys?
Well, we didn't play golf. So I lost golf like months ago. So, but no, it wasn't a week off. It was a work week. We really got after it, and that's how it was our mentality. We got like kind of like one day off, but it's kind of funny because everyone's just like, it like builds confidence that we're working. And it was how I'm gonna say this, how Coach Lanning just approaches kind of everything gets us fired up. Like he has so much passion, and like when he brings that passion, it's kind of like, oh, well, if he has that passion, I think we should have that passion. So, but it definitely getting our bodies off for a couple of days and having extra time to game plan and and having opportunities to connect. Like that video went out, that magician and everything, that was pretty cool. But it was just a good week. So
You guys always talk about and preach consistency, and every week's the same, and you prepare the same. I get that. Have you seen anything different in Bo the last week and a half? Just because, again, it's the outside, but a national television audience is going to be watching two Heisman candidate quarterbacks, and whoever wins is going to be billed as the winner in that way.
Yeah.
Have you seen something different of like what from him in all the last week and a half of what this opportunity is for him?
I mean, not really. No, Bo is the same. Bo is the same every day that he is. Like it doesn't matter if we're playing Pop Warner, we're going to play the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to prepare the same, and this is like an incredible opportunity for him, and I think that falls on me a lot because if I don't do my job, like he doesn't go sit in New York and like be ready for that award. So I put a lot of that on me because everybody wants him to be up there, and this game is going to be really, as you said, proven to set up for who's going to be there. But he just prepares every single day, the same in and out, same juice, same fire, same love, same compassion. Like Bo's the same every day. So
slight change in topics, but in 2028 they're allowing flag football into the Olympics. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh.
But who do you think from this team would be the best on that team?
Best in flag football in 2028. Well, it's nobody on the offensive line. I mean, I can throw the ball, but that's tough.
Troy said Vaughn Reams.
Ooh, Vaughn. Yeah, Vaughn would be really good. Tez, because he's so fast. I mean, we have a lot of guys. I'm going to say Let's say Brock Thomas. Brock Thomas. Yeah, no, he can sling it around. We call him BT12, not TB12, BT12. Yeah, no, I'm put this in. Brock Thomas is going to be in the Olympics in 2028. Definitely.
How about that? Jackson Powers Johnson with the statement of the year right there. Love that, hearing from an offensive lineman. When we come back, full weekend preview, Ducks and Dogs on the horizon here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. One more segment to tell you the weekend schedule. Oregon soccer is in action tonight on the Oregon live stream against Arizona State. Oregon volleyball tonight at 7 o'clock. Pac-12 Network also on KWVA. Knight's got the call after directing the show today. Oregon softball's in action at home all weekend long. More details, goducks.com. Duck volleyball also in action on Sunday. And I'll tell you what, this is a huge game. Oregon, Washington, Ducks, Dogs, 12:30 kickoff, actually 12:45. 10:30 pregame show. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a big one. Go Ducks.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Well, life doesn't always